YouTube? So it's the end of 2019, and every year at the end of the year I like to do a little year in review kind of video by going through each month and finding something or some things that made that month memorable. So I've got my whole list on my phone of 2019, a year in 12, and let's get into it. If you're new here, hello, my name is Tori Cyclic. I make new videos every Sunday for Cyclic Sunday with other videos throughout the week. If you like what you see, like this video down below and subscribe while you're down there as well. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram in the description at tss6295. Now, let's get into the video. So in creating this list and looking through everything, some things feel like it was years and years ago, remembering everything that happened in 2019. So I'm excited to go back through this and remember everything that happened in this year. January, performing in Beauty and the Beast. I missed this show so much because it was such a good group of people to be working with and such a fun venue to be at the White Plains Performing Arts Center, and such a fun show as well. I hadn't ever done a Disney show before doing Beauty and the Beast, and I just loved doing the show so much. I love the costumes, I love the music. It was just such a good experience, and I just loved getting to do that and finishing out 2018 and starting 2019 doing such a fun show. February, the Eggplant Foster's cart breaking at Dirt Candy. So if you've been watching my videos for a long time, you know that I work at the restaurant Dirt Candy here in New York City in Chinatown. It's a vegetarian restaurant with a tasting menu, and one of the old desserts that we used to have on our 9-course tasting menu, because you get 2 courses of dessert there, is called the Eggplant Foster's. Now we don't have this anymore because of some of the issues that came up that regards to the story. The Eggplant Foster's is basically a take on Bananas Foster, which is bananas, caramel, and fire, but we did it with eggplants. So in February of 2019, I wasn't a full-time server yet at Dirt Candy. I was still a runner slash busser slash expediter slash sometimes server, and usually a server at brunch. When I would be a runner at work, I would usually be doing the Eggplant Foster's as well to help out the pastry person who would be really busy doing all the rest of the desserts, and I could just run out onto the floor, do this dessert really quickly because we cooked it tableside, and then come back over and continue running food. One night in February, I am doing the Eggplant Foster's at a table. I have my whole spiel going, talking to the guests and being like, oh, how was your meal? What was your favorite part? And getting through all the steps of going through it. So as I'm about to set the whole thing on fire and like flambe it for a second, I have the rum in my hand that I'm using to light it up, and I slightly move the cart back from the table just because we have it on a moving cart. I move it, and then one of the wheels pops off as I have a pan in my hand and the rum in the other hand and no way to grab this cart, and somehow miraculously I stuck my foot underneath the wheel that had come off, put the pan down and caught the cart, and somehow didn't light everybody on fire. Everybody in the restaurant in this area can see exactly what's happening, as well as all of the chefs in the kitchen and the other people who are standing at the pass, and it was a lot, but it was a ridiculous kind of experience that this happened, and then it happened a second time that night as well. March, getting my new phone. So in March, I ended up getting this new phone, the iPhone 10, and this was a bit of a crazy day as well. The main issue that I had with my phone was that I would have to stick the charger into my phone and put it like this onto my bed for it to actually stay charging, because it wouldn't charge any other way. On the day, I think it was March 8th that this happened, my phone didn't charge at all overnight, and it was at 1% battery. I need to take it into the Apple Store to see what I can do. Maybe it's like this part of the phone is loose or something. So I wake up pretty early so I can go sign up for an audition. So after I did this makeup while sitting at this audition for a couple minutes and figuring out what I was gonna do, I go over to the Apple Store by Central Park, and as I'm on my way there, my phone dies. They were like, you can either replace the battery if the phone turns back on, or you can just get a brand new phone. So I'm sitting at this Apple Store for about half an hour to 40 minutes. Phone isn't turning back on, so I go, great, I have to go get a new phone. This is gonna be a little bit of a hassle. So I'm sitting at the Apple Store, calling my dad, trying to figure out everything to do, and then I look at the time and I go, oh, I have to go run back to this audition. End up being at this audition for like 3 hours because I do a dance combo, and then they ask me to stay again, and then they ask me to stay again to dance twice, and then they ask me to stay and sing. And then for some reason as well, I wanted to take a dance class during the day. So after I finished this part of the audition, I ran up to Broadway Dance Center to go sign up for a dance class, and then ran up to the Verizon store kind of near Central Park to go and buy my phone. I go and get the phone there, and I'm trying to get it set up at the store, and they say, oh, it's gonna take an hour and a half for the phone to actually set up because the internet here is really crappy, so we have to wait for it to sit here. And I said, I can't do this. I have to go to a dance class, and then I have to go to work tonight. So then I run back to Broadway Dance Center, go take my dance class. Something wasn't working with the small little card that goes into your phone, and I couldn't figure out how to turn the phone on and get that to actually process so I could start the process of getting my phone all set up. So I run into this Apple Store at Prince Street, and I go, I need help! And then I'm like frantically trying to figure all this out before I have to run to work. I somehow get the phone. It started with its actual startup of how it's supposed to work, and then run to work and make it to work early, somehow early. And yeah, it was just a crazy day of dealing with figuring out this phone, and I didn't understand how all of it happened. April, my little mini vacation with Sean. So this little vacation that Sean and I took was a really great one because we got to get away from the city for a couple days. Well, I think about a week actually. We were gone for a little while and get to go to Paradise Valley, Pennsylvania and stay at a cute little hotel, and we actually got engaged there. So yeah, Sean and I have been engaged since April 24th. It's been really exciting, and I'm really excited about the next part of our lives together as a couple and moving forward in this part of our lives, and it's really cool, and I'm very excited about it. And yeah, going on that little vacation and getting engaged was really awesome, and it was really funny as well because I wasn't totally sure if I can get all of the days off for work, but then apparently Sean called my boss and asked if I could get the days approved so he could propose. And then when I came back to work, my boss was like, so do you have a nice new piece of jewelry on your hand? And I was like, oh yes, I do. So yeah, in April I got engaged. That's a really nice thing. May, doing background work on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So I talked a little bit on my channel about doing different background work throughout the year of 2019, but in May, I finally got to work on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which was something that I had been wanting to do for a very long time because everybody tells me that I look like Rachel Brosnahan in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and I was like, there's gotta be a way for me to get on this show somehow. So when I first moved to New York, I applied for all of the background jobs on Mrs. Maisel because I just really wanted to get this job. I had gotten contacted once and then never heard from them again for a while, and it was when I had my really long hair. Then as soon as I cut my hair and I uploaded new photos to my Backstage profile and applied for a couple jobs through Mrs. Maisel, I finally got the call. So if you've not watched season 3 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I'm in episodes 3 and 4, and I'm in it a lot. Like, you can see me a lot. I was surprised when I watched the show how much I could see myself. It was pretty crazy. I was on set for 8 days over the course of May, made a lot of money, which was really nice, and got to wear some really awesome costumes and watch Rachel Brosnahan do Midge Maisel monologues. And it was so cool to get to be in this place in Queens called the Astoria World Manor that they turned into a casino. So it literally looked like we were in Vegas in 1959, 1960, watching her perform and playing on old slot machines. It was just so cool. June, having an allergic reaction to Sean's shaving cream. So this is a kind of weird story, but in June, I had run out of my shaving cream and decided to use some of Sean's that he had in our shower, and I used it on my legs, and then I was like, okay, this feels a little bit weird on my skin, but it's fine. And then I like moisturized and everything like I normally do after I shave, and then that night, I was going to work and I was standing at the pass because I was expediting at work at Dirt Candy. And I was like, oh God, I feel really itchy all over and I don't know what to do. And I don't know why I feel this way. I wake up the next morning covered in hives. I think it was the right side of my face. My eye was completely blown up and I had hives all over my face, hives all over my stomach, and all over like my down there area and my legs. And it was so uncomfortable. I woke up and I was like, Sean, I can't feel half my body. I can't help my body. We have to go to City MD, to urgent care, and figure this out. They gave me some shots and I was on antibiotics for 2 weeks. And it was horrible. July, birthright. So obviously for the month of July, I have to talk about birthright because that was the biggest thing that happened the month of July, and it was probably the coolest thing that I've done in a really long time. Traveling to Israel was something that I had wanted to do for such a long time, and the fact that I finally got to go on this trip with my sister Alexis and with such an amazing group of people during a great time of the year. It was so hot, but it was so much fun getting to be in Israel during the summer and experience the beaches and experience everything. I just had such a good time, and I miss the group of people so much. Getting to travel like that, I've never traveled on a group trip like that except for my study abroad program, but that was a program through school where I had to study, whereas this was completely just traveling and getting to see the world. And it's something I really want to keep doing because I loved it. I had so much fun. August, working on my birthday and taking lots of yoga classes. So I'm gonna start with the yoga classes because that's something that I started doing because my voice teacher told me I should do it to help open up my breathing area, because as a dancer, I tend to have very tight breathing. So one of my friends from college, Erin, actually teaches yoga classes here in New York. And I was like, well, I can get a class for free and I can take it with somebody that I know. So why not start taking yoga classes? And since August, almost every week I've been taking yoga with him, and it's so good. I feel really good about myself when I take class. And when I miss a class, I do feel a difference in my body, which is something that I've never really noticed before from a dance class versus a workout class versus how my body feels in that kind of way. So I really think it's something I want to keep doing and keep taking classes in 2020 and doing for myself a little bit more. And then working on my birthday. So my birthday is August 15th, and I had tried to get off for my birthday from work, but was not able to. So during the day, I got lunch with Alexis at a sushi place, and then I went into work, and knew I was gonna have a lot of things to deal with at work, which was fine. But then my first table of the night, I always go over to the table and check and be like, hi, can I just double check your allergies, make sure there's nothing else that we missed. So when I go over this table, I say, any allergies or dietary restrictions? One person goes, yes, I'm gluten-free and dairy-free. And I go, okay, great, that's not a problem at all. Then I go to the other person, I say, any allergies for you as well? And they go, yes, I'm gluten-free, I'm dairy-free, I'm soy-free, and I can't have any beans. And I was like, all right, that's gonna be an issue because all of our non-dairy things are soy-based products. So then I go, let me just talk to the chef and double check a couple things. And then I go over to the pass and talk to our chef de cuisine, Amanda Lee, and I go, Amanda Lee, I have an issue at my table. And then I tell her about all the allergies and she goes, wow, that's a great birthday present, isn't it? And then for the rest of the night on my birthday, I just had every single table that had a million allergies. And I was like, wow, the universe is really giving me a great birthday present by giving me all of these allergies to deal with. It was a fine night and it was okay because everybody was nice, but I just hated having to deal with so many different allergies from so many different tables. September, getting drunk to my friend Devin's drag show and playing Pokemon Go. So I'm gonna start with Pokemon Go here because Sean came back from a military trip and then said, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go while I was on this trip and you should play with me. So now we just play Pokemon Go all the time together since September, and it's a lot of fun because it's a good way to get out of our apartment and do a date day outside, and also it's just a lot of fun to play Pokemon Go. And then getting drunk at my friend Devin's drag show. So I don't really drink much at all, so my tolerance for alcohol is very, very low, and I would consider myself pretty much a lightweight. So my friend Devin is the one that I did a makeup video with last year when he did drag makeup on me when he was first starting out here in New York, and he's been doing a ton of drag performances all over the city, and I've never been able to see him, and finally he was performing on a Monday night, and that's when I never worked because we're closed, so I was finally able to go see him. So I went to this bar up in Queens that he was performing at, and they had a 2-drink minimum, and I was like, okay, that's not too terrible. I had eaten a lot in the day beforehand, so I was like, I should be fine. So I get this drink that I think was called Call Me by Rosé, which was a rosé cider and like vodka, but it tasted like bubblegum. I'm sitting at the show watching my friend perform, drinking my drink, not thinking that I'm drinking that much, but it was a pint glass, so it was a lot of alcohol. I ended up drinking it, I think, a lot faster than I thought I was drinking it, and then I finished my one glass and I was like, oh, I need to do the 2-drink minimum, so I'm gonna go get another one. And I'm sitting at this bar sitting with a couple friends, and we're all watching him perform, giving him tips, watching and having a great time. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's getting late, it's about 10:30, I should start getting home. And then I stand up and I'm saying goodbye to my friend. I was like, oh, I'm feeling this alcohol a little bit. I think I drank too fast and didn't drink any water. And I go to get an Uber outside and I'm standing there and I literally cannot see anything straight. And I was like, oh God, what's happening to me? So I'm sitting in this Uber, driving from Queens down to Bushwick where I live. And I'm just sitting there like seeing the whole world like this. But I was just like, you know what? Just keep calm, you're gonna be fine. Once you get home, you're gonna chug a lot of water and then you're gonna go right to sleep. But then for some reason, my brain said to me, you're changing into a new pair of contacts tomorrow and you're probably gonna forget to take them out when you get home, so just take them out in this cab. So while I'm sitting in this Uber, I take out my contacts and I'm just sitting there kind of blind like this in the car. I get into my apartment, I chug a ton of water, and then I lie down in bed next to Sean and start to go to sleep. It's about 12 o'clock at this point. Then I'm lying there for about half an hour, and then I wake up around 12:30 in the morning and I go, I need to puke. And then I jump over Sean, and we have a little garbage can right next to our bed, puke everything out into that garbage can. So not my finest moment of the year, but it was a great night. October, seeing myself in the Joker movie. So I made a whole vlog talking about this, but yeah, in October, I got to see myself in the Joker movie. It was the first background job that I had ever done, and it was so cool seeing myself in this movie because, again, I didn't know how much I was going to be seen in this, but I was sitting right in front of Joaquin Phoenix, so I knew that I would probably be in it a fair amount. When I was watching the movie, I didn't know when this scene was going to come up, and it's about 20 minutes into the movie. I'm sitting there with Sean on the opening day of the movie, then as soon as they start playing the theme music, I was like, okay, this is the scene that I'm in. Great, great, great. And then they show the whole scene. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. I'm just sitting there like in the movie theater quietly freaking out, going, oh my God, this is me. I can't believe I'm seeing myself on a movie screen in a movie with Joaquin Phoenix and Robert De Niro. Yes, I didn't have any lines. Yes, I didn't have a big part, but I'm there a lot. And they keep like doing different cuts, and you can see me in like the corner of one, the corner of another. And I was like, this is the weirdest thing in the entire world, and I can't believe it. November, seeing the Maine in concert. So actually in 2019, I got to see the Maine twice, which is really awesome because usually it's like once every year and a half-ish that I get to see them. But I saw them in March when Rachel was in town, and then in November as well. So for November, it was their completely revamped tour called The Mirror, which is a lot of visual things added into it, and then playing all of the music from their old tours and all of their old albums. I haven't gone to a concert by myself in a really long time, and it was very fun to go to this one by myself. I think because I was just surrounded by this huge group of people at Irving Plaza who just love the Maine so much. We're just all sitting there watching this concert. I think it was one of the first nights of this tour. They're just such incredible performers that I was just living my life the whole time, screaming along to the entire concert. And then they got down into the audience in an acoustic moment, which I'd never seen them do before. So I was just having a great time, and they always put on such a good show. Like, the lighting's incredible, they're incredible. That's the reason why they're my favorite band. December, seeing myself in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, finally buying my G7X, and going back to Utah. So for December, I have 3 things just because there were 3 things that were really cool about this month. The first one is seeing myself in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel because, like I said, in May, when I went to film it, I had no idea how much I was gonna be in it, and I was so excited just to see it because it was a show I've been trying to get on for such a long time. And then actually seeing myself in the show was so cool. Number 2, finally buying my G7X, which I am currently filming on right now. I'm so happy with it. I used it the entire time I was in Utah, and I just love this camera because it's so portable, it's so easy, the quality is fantastic, and I can literally just stick it into my purse, and it's just there and so easy to film with. And finally, going back to Utah. I haven't been back to Utah in almost 2 years, so it was so good to get to go back, see my friends who are still living there, and visit with Sean's family, and just have a really good time there and relax from New York, because New York is a lot, as we know, and getting to take this time off during the holidays and go and visit with Sean's family was really, really great. So I'm glad I got to go back and rest a little bit and recharge before the new year in New York City. So that is my 2019 year in 12 year in review. In the comment down below, let me know something exciting that happened for you this year in 2019. I'd love to hear more about your lives and something that made 2019 really special for you. And if you have any suggestions for any videos or anything you'd like to see here on my channel, leave that in the comments down below. I'd love to get your feedback as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, DFTBA, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.